You remember how in Mass Effect Andromeda, once you make the first planet Eos habitable, the game gives you a very important choice? This choice will alter how all the living species across the galaxy perceive the Pathfinder initiative.
Consider carefully.
Do you want to build a research facility or a military base? Yeah, that didn't matter at all. That's common amongst RPGs, new and old. Just a heads up, I'm not saying the games that I criticize in this video are terrible games, and some of the games I compliment in this video are not masterpieces either. Dragon's Dogma 2, where you can terrorize an entire city and get no reaction whatsoever. Skyrim, where you can turn the tides of a civil war, and then afterwards be the only one aware that the war has even ended. The Outerworlds, where you can sentence an entire group of deserters trying to take control of their own lives to certain death, and your only consequence is a pouting face from Pavarti, who despite fundamentally disagreeing with the decision, will still wholeheartedly join your adventure. Your decisions and actions mean nothing. Role-playing games suck. Now, before I delve any deeper, it's important I first define what an RPG or role-playing game even is. Role-playing games are experiences in which a player takes control of a character or characters they can create from scratch or make small alterations to. These characters will typically have their own backstories, goals, and motivations, all rooted in the fictional world the game takes place in, with the ones that allow the most creative freedom allowing the player to determine all of those themselves through alternate backstories. Within this world, the player is given the opportunity to make decisions that can alter the world, events, and characters around them. I miss playing Dungeons & Dragons. I never got too deep into it. I only had maybe like 4 hours of experience playing it. I joined a D&D club during my first semester of grade 12 in high school. This new teacher at my school wanted to form a D&D group. My friend group at the time and I decided to join, and it was a blast. I'll never forget our very first playthrough. We started outside of a home. It was dark, raining outside, and the teacher who was our DM described the home in a lot of detail. It was made clear that we needed to get inside this house. After checking the door and seeing it was locked, we did the obvious thing you do when a door is locked in a video game. We broke in, and proceeded to get terrible roll after terrible roll, injuring ourselves, setting off traps, almost dying, climbing all the way to the top, only to meet the homeowner who's rightfully pissed because of all the chaos we've caused. And this is when I realized I was gonna love D&D. The DM assumes the role of the homeowner, looks my character dead in the eyes, and says, "I've been waiting for you. Why didn't you just knock?" I had been so spoiled for choice, I didn't consider the most simple option as a choice. My friends weren't innocent either, because despite there being a group of 6 of us, no one suggested knocking. The second I said, "Hey, let's kick the door down," everyone was just like, "Yeah!" and they were on board, so it's not all my fault. After all of that, however, my team had injuries with no equipment to mend to them, and a very, very upset homeowner who was re-evaluating whether or not he wanted to work with us anymore because he was a quest giver. There were plenty of moments like these throughout each of our weekly sessions, and the biggest key takeaway, what made every call and decision so edge of your seat fun, was that anytime you took action, even forgetting to ask someone you meet on your adventures the right questions, you knew that there was always a threat of consequence. A foreign concept for 90% of role-playing games. The problem is, what value does making any decision have if it's void of consequences? The term consequence is often associated with negativity. However, the word is actually neutral and can be used in both positive and negative contexts. I say this because when I call for actions and decisions in RPGs to have consequences, I'm not asking for something bad to happen as a result of the player's actions. I'm simply asking for something to happen at all. Games that make role-playing the main genre and selling point of their game and then turn around and implement morality, relationship, and choice mechanics, all for none of them to matter, infuriate me. When I'm put in a position where I have to make a difficult decision only for the same result to occur no matter which choice I make, there is no choice. Do not ask me to choose between killing a man or exiling him only for the most to happen is my companion slightly disagrees and then everyone carries on as if nothing happens. What are the opinions of the people I lead? If I execute a man and it is objectively unjust, will they look at me differently? If I continue to execute indiscriminately, will the people begin to question my authority? Will a relative of someone I killed seek revenge, or perhaps someone I spared return to help me, or perhaps betray me? No. It doesn't matter. It's not enough to give me 5 dialogue options. Are they distinct? Don't give me 5 options and then they're just, yes, okay, sure, I'm on it, affirmative. Give me options that are clearly unique from one another, otherwise it's just an illusion. When I pick from these unique dialogue options, have the NPC react slightly different, depending on what it is I have my character say. An amazing example of this is Divinity Original Sin 2. Every single conversation, if I was given multiple choices, each one was unique, and then guess what? If my character just needed to say yes to something, then that was the only option. There was no need to add multiple ways of saying that, and so they didn't. Games like KOTOR, Baldur's Gate 3, Pathfinder, Dragon Age Origins, and Fallout 3 all do the same thing to varying degrees of effect. However, games like Mass Effect Andromeda, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Fallout 4 lie. The game will have you say the same thing with altered emotions which don't change the reaction of the NPC you're speaking to. With some of the most important decisions you can possibly make in Dragon Age Inquisition being the ones you made in the previous games. By the way, what the hell is going on with the Qunari in Dragon Age? I recently saw some more gameplay for Dragon Age the Veilguard, and what the hell even is that? After seeing the dialogue wheel in Dragon Age the Veilguard, I realized that there's a high possibility that it will be the same as Dragon Age Inquisition, which is not ideal, not at all. Role-playing games do not need every single mechanic from every RPG ever created rolled into one game. They simply need the ones that are chosen to actually have real consequences and a real impact. Don't lie to me and tell me I will make world-altering decisions in your game when those world-altering decisions are put in a game where no one important can die and with one ending. Now, if you enjoyed the video and want to see another one where I talk specifically about my concerns for Dragon Age the Veilguard, check out this video here.